we're going to do something a bit special. You and I are going to do a crossword together. No script, no fancy editing, just you, me, and this black and white little beauty. Should we get cracking? So which crossword are we going to do? Well, this one, it's called the Everyman. It appears every Sunday in the Observer newspaper, which is like the Guardian's sister newspaper. There's no Guardian on a Sunday, so they publish the Observer. And it's called the Everyman because it's supposed to be, as cryptic crosswords go, quite an easy one. Now, we're talking about cryptic crosswords, and the thing with cryptic crosswords is, if you've never done one before, the clues are not just straight like quiz-style clues where the answer goes in the grid. The clues are little riddles. They can be a bit daunting if you've never done one before, but they are enormously satisfying once you get into them, because every time you get an answer, you've achieved something significant. You have managed to decipher something, and that is why I really enjoy doing them, and that is why I think you will too. I find them enormously relaxing. I don't know about you, things have been a little bit stressy lately around the world, don't you think? So we're going to have just a nice, relaxing time. Now, I am going to rifle through these because I don't know how long this is going to take. I don't even know if we're going to complete this thing. I hope we are. I have had a glance through the clues, full disclosure, and I know we're going to get at least some of them. Are we going to get them all? Well, there's your bit of jeopardy. Let's get started, though, and I'm going to start with, as one might expect, one across. It's eternal, they say, in vitro meat. Okay, so what's going on here? That, as a sentence, doesn't make an awful lot of sense. And that's because, if you've never done a cryptic crossword before, I need to tell you something. And that is that most cryptic crossword clues are actually two clues in one. They're made up of a riddle or word play and just a straight clue to what the answer is. And that's what we've got in the case of this clue here. It's eternal, they say, in vitro meat. I've worked out the answer to this, by the way, which is why I'm speaking with such confidence. It just kind of leapt out at me, this one. And let me tell you that the straight clue here, the clue that's just going to tell you what the answer means, is it's eternal, they say. And the riddle is in vitro meat. Now, let me just write something down for you here. Yeah, so these are where I'm putting my notes, right? In vitro meat. So we're looking for something that is eternal that appears in vitro meat. Can you spot anything eternal, quite literally, in the words vitro meat? Are you ready for this? I love this sort of thing. Sorry. Okay, I'm going to show you where it is. It's here. Rome. Is Rome something that's eternal? Well, they say that Rome is the eternal city, don't they? So I reckon we've already got our very first answer, which is Rome. Yeah, we're off the mark. Good. Let's move on to, as one might expect, actually not as one might expect. So this is funny. Whenever I do a cryptic crossword, I do this thing where I go through all of the acrosses first, just to see if I can get any of the clues without, having any help from the downs. But I was told by a guy called John Halpern, who is one of Britain's leading crossword setters, that this is a bit odd, and that most people, for example, in this instance, would immediately go to, one down or three down because we've already got a letter. But that is not how I work. That's John Halpern. By the way, we need to give a shout out to the creator of this very crossword, this guy called Alan Connor, a very, very talented man, multi-talented, because not only does he set this crossword, but also he's a successful screenwriter, he's a successful author as well. I mean, you can see it all here. This is his Blue Sky profile, and you can see, he's written for Have I Got News for You, which is a satirical quiz show in Britain. He's written for Charlie Brooker. He's also written questions for House of Games, which is a popular TV quiz here in Britain. And of course, he writes The Everyman, which is the crossword that we're doing right now. Oh, and he's also written on Borat 2. Alan was kind enough to give me his blessing to do his crossword in this video, and I really appreciate it. And he's a bit of a hero of mine because I have been doing this crossword for, like I say, over a decade. He's not been doing it the entirety of that time, but it's continued to be brilliant under his, in his care. Yeah. Okay. Anyway, back to crosswords, because we really do need to rifle through these. It shows axes, part of plotter's designs. So plotter's designs, what are plotter's designs? So plotter's designs could either be, the plans of plotters, like the gunpowder plot, the plot to blow up Parliament, or plotter's designs could also be designs for like a building plot, couldn't they? I don't know which we're looking for here. I don't know the answer to this one immediately. So what I'm going to say is that we actually moved straight on to the next one because we really need to sort of jump through these. And we go on to 9 across. 4 letters. Refer to model in Channel Islands on ecstasy. Now, let me tell you something about the Channel Islands. Not just, that they're beautiful. Only part of Britain to be invaded by the Nazis. But I don't know why I said that, sorry. But that Channel Islands has a common abbreviation, particularly in crosswords. It's always abbreviated to 2 letters, which are CI, which is no great surprise. And another word in that clue also has a very common abbreviation. And that's the word ecstasy, right? What's the abbreviation? By those who use it and those of us who don't. I don't use it, I swear. It's E, right? Ecstasy is E. So I reckon of the 4 letters that we're looking for here, 3 of those letters are going to be C, I, and E. So we're just looking for one more letter in here to give us our answer, I reckon. So where do we find that in this clue? Refer to model on Channel Islands on ecstasy. Well, I said earlier how the clues tend to be made up of a straight clue and a cryptic one. And we've already decided that the cryptic bit is the end bit, Channel Islands on ecstasy. So the straight clue must be refer to or refer to model. But we need to find where we're getting that extra letter from. And if we've got 3 of the 4 letters already from Channel Islands on ecstasy, model is probably what's going to provide us with the extra letter we need. And refer to is probably going to be the straight clue. I'm saying probably here. I've actually worked it out. I know what this is. It's not probably at all. So the model we're looking for is the Model T. Have you heard of it? The car that you could have in any colour as long as it was black. Was it Henry Ford? Is his name Henry Ford? Mr. Ford. Yeah, he said that. So, right, we've got the word sight there. What does sight mean? Well, it means refer to, doesn't it? So I'm pretty confident that our answer here is sight. Let's put it in. I'm going to bring up this version. Ooh, look how smart that is. Okay, we're writing in sight. Okay, onwards and upwards onto 10 across. What do we got here? Ultimately furious into craw sticks 1 that's extremely inferior. Okay, so normally when you see the word ultimately, it's telling you that you need to take the final letter of the word, the ultimate letter of the word that came after it. So in that case, this would be S. But I don't know what's going on with the rest of that clue. And seeing as I'm trying to sort of rush through this a little bit, I'm going to move on and just hope that the downs later give us a bit more help with that one. So let's get cracking on to 11 across. Trembling mankind holy, welcoming earth's biblical promise. 4, 3, 5. Okay. So my immediate thought with this one is that the word trembling is telling us that we're looking for an anagram. I know that sounds a bit strange, but in cryptic crosswords, whenever you see a word like trembling, shaken, or a word that suggests disorder or confusion, these are all hints that there's an anagram in the clue. So in this case, we're looking for an answer that is 4, 3, 5, which adds up to 4, 7, 12 letters. So we need to find somewhere in this clue 12 letters that we can rearrange. I mean, assuming I'm right about trembling, which I might not be, to make what I assume would be a biblical promise. Okay, so where could those letters be coming from? Well, I think mankind holy is probably part of the anagram. What do those add up to? We've got 7 letters in mankind, 4 in holy, so that adds up to 11. So we need to find another letter from somewhere. I'm going to assume that that other letter is the E at the start of Earth, because you've seen Earth abbreviated to E, right, on like diagrams of the solar system or whatever. Mars would be M, or would it? Would Mercury be M? Well, whatever. You get my point. V would be Venus, and E would be Earth. So what I reckon we're looking for here is an anagram of mankind holy E that equals a biblical. What on earth are those numbers? What was that? Huh? Okay. I have no idea what those numbers are. Okay, it's going to equal a biblical promise. That was a bit mad, wasn't it? Biblical promise that's made up of 4, 3, 5. Mankind, holy E. K is an unusual letter, isn't it? K doesn't appear in a lot of things. What could it be? I mean, it's not going to be kind, because kind is already there. No. Okay. Biblical promise. Someone is going to be screaming this at me. They'll be screaming at their screens, knowing this one. It doesn't immediately come to me. Let's move on from our mankind holy E, our biblical promise, and just get cracking on with the next clue, which is going to be 15 across. What posh homes have, aka station wagons. All right, I've got this one straight away, because station wagons, what are called station wagons in the US, have a different name. They are also known as something else in Britain. Station wagons in Britain are known as estate cars or estates. And what do posh homes have? They have estates. So I am really very confident that the answer here is, not there, wrong direction. Yeah, estates. All right, we'll see. On to 16 across, which is primarily pecuniarily, I genuinely don't know what that means, oh gosh. Pecuniarily relayed or reimbursed according to amplitude. Now, I don't think it matters that I don't know what that word means, because I think the word primarily at the start there, primarily in the clue, but I think the word primarily there is telling us we need to take the first letter from pecuniarily. The primary letter, right? It might even mean that we need to take all of the first letters from the words that come after it as well, because we're looking for a 7-letter answer, and there are 7 words that follow primarily here. So what are the first letters of pecuniarily relayed or reimbursed according to amplitude work out as if we type them out? Because I've already worked out what the answer is here. I am just going to type them straight into the grid. They come out as PRORATA. Pro rata. Is there something in the clue that tells us that the answer might be pro rata? Well, I reckon there is, because we have according to amplitude in there, which is what pro rata basically means. So I'm pretty confident that the answer there is pro rata. Okay, moving on. This is taking a while, sorry. Okay, I'm enjoying it. I hope you're enjoying it. Every clue, just gives you this little buzz. If you're sad, like me, we're not sad. Okay, 17. Stuff what you can do to the www, you say. Something weird going on there, isn't there? Stuff what you can do to the www. That's... Well, I mean, if you take stuff as meaning things, then that's awful grammar, isn't it? Stuff what you can do. Or if you're like telling someone to stuff it, like a verb, stuff what you can do to the www, you say. Yeah, that's one way of saying it. www is the net, maybe. You say, which means it might be a saying, or it might be something that sounds similar to something else. I don't know. I don't immediately know what the answer to this one is, but I think we're going to get it. Let's keep going anyway. On to the next clue, which is 19 across. Not half pretentious, opposed to Italian wine. Okay, so I can only think of one Italian wine, and it fits. It's Chianti, 7 letters, right? And I think it's probably the answer, because opposed to, if you're opposed to something, you are anti it, and Chianti is at the end of that. So we're looking for some way of getting to the rest of the word Chianti, which is C-H-I, right, from not half pretentious. Not half pretentious. So that, if it says something like that, not half, it might be saying that you get rid of half of a word, right? So is there a word for pretentious where CHI is half of it? Someone's going to be yelling this one at me. It could be the first three letters. Could be the last three letters. I'm pretty confident the answer here is Chianti, but I'm not going to write it in because I do need to know where the CHI is coming from. Or if we get enough of the downs, it's going to be obvious that that's what it is. Let's keep on going. Origamist's income, 7-5. All right, this is I like this one. So it's just a 2-word clue. So you think, well, how can this have both like a straight clue and a cryptic one? There's only 2 words there. And the fact is that it's just a little bit cleverer than your average clue. I would say Alan Connor's done a lovely job with this one. Origamist's income is folding money. That's the answer. I know it is. It just is, right? Because it's money for folding. And folding money is a thing, isn't it? That's what you refer to paper money as, folding money. 7-5. Yeah, I'm really sure that the answer we're looking for here is, folding money. Yeah, there's a bit of an unusual one there. Just a 2-word clue. There it is. Just a 2-word clue, but I'm really confident that is our answer. All right, let's move on to 23 across. We're working rifling our way through it here. Small drink adjacent to finger. Okay, so when you see the word small in a cryptic crossword clue, it's very often pointing you to the letter S, right? Because, if you buy clothes in size small, I do not. It has to be said. I'm a large, really, but I like to kid myself that I'm a medium. But if you buy them, you're going to find an S on the label, which is why small usually is, telling us to write the letter S. Small drink adjacent to a finger. I don't know that that's what this is asking us to do, but I'm pretty confident it is. I don't know what the rest of the clue is asking us to do, so I'm going to move on and hope that we get a bit more help from the downs on that one. Quiet tune mate. Okay, so the word quiet also has a very common abbreviation in music and in cryptic crosswords, and that abbreviation is P for piano, which is the Italian for quiet and the term used in music to tell someone to play their instrument quietly. The instrument, the piano, is, actually it's short for pianoforte, which means quiet loud, because the innovation that came with the piano is that you could play it both loudly and quietly, which you could not with its predecessor keyboard instruments. So we're looking at a 4-letter word here beginning with P. Let's note this one down. P. So we've got gap, gap, gap. What does the rest of the clue say? It says tune mate. So we are looking for, I think, a word meaning mate that begins with P. It's a 4-letter one, and the final 3 letters are a tune. What's a 3-letter word for a tune? Well, I think the answer is this. I think it's pair, because I think a tune is an air. Can a mate be a pair? I guess it sort of can, can't it? I'm pretty confident that that's going to be pair. Am I going to put it in? And what else could a tune be? An ode? Pode? No, it's not a thing, is it? Let's go for pair. I'm writing it in. You just see it behind my head there? There it is. Pair. All right, on to the next one. Moving as fast as we can onto 25 across. Bad neighbour accounting cryptically for taste. Okay, nothing's leapt out at me on that one. The reference to cryptically in the clue there probably means we're rearranging some words, but I don't know which ones just yet. Okay, we're going to move straight on to 26 across. All right, here we go. Say this culture regularly disappears. So, when you see the word regularly in a clue, it's maybe telling you that you need to take every second letters and, regularly remove or regularly take letters. 4-letter word here. Say this culture regularly disappears. So the word it's going to be referring to is culture in here. I think what we need to do is take the word culture and remove every second letter. Let's try it. Okay, we solved pair, didn't we? Let's get rid of that. Culture is what I'm writing out. So what happens if we delete every second letter here? C, L, U, clue. Oh my goodness. Okay, this is great. I love this. Say this. Culture regularly disappears. So say is a way of saying, for example, right? So this is saying, for example, this. The answer is clue. See, this is Everyman, Alan Connor, having a nice little play with us, because the answer here is clue. I do enjoy it when you get a sort of meta, self-referential clue like that one. Excellent. Hey, we've done all of the crosses. I mean, we haven't solved them, but we've at least read them all. So let's crack on and get on with the downs, all right? So we're going on with one down, and looky here, we've already got some letters. We've got the R, C, and an E. All right, so presence of mind initially disturbed, making amends. Presence of mind initially disturbed, making amends. Presence of mind initially disturbed, making amends. So is there a word for making amends that fits in there? Because I think that's what it's going to be. Recompense? Recompense. Recompense. Okay, that does fit. Presence of mind initially disturbed. So I think we're looking for a word that means presence of mind, but has maybe had the first letter taken off it. But is there a word meaning presence of mind that has, no, when you remove the first letter, means recompense? Maybe it's not recompense, but I think I'm close with that one. Let's just move on. We'll have a look at two down. Stimulator provoked vandals. Stimulator provoked vandals. Okay, so we're looking for a 10-letter word here. Right. How many letters are there in stimulator? There are 10. Because I think the word provoked here, provoked is a bit of an obscure one, but I think it's telling us to rearrange the letters. Like provoke the word stimulator into being our answer. So is there a word for vandals that is an anagram of stimulator? Let's write it out. Come on, we like doing it like this. We solved clue. That's good. Okay, stimulator. A vandal. Mutilator? Mutilator? Mutilator. What I didn't look at is we've got a load of letters here. Oh, and look. Mutilator totally fits, doesn't it? Mutilators, not mutilator, because it's stimulator, not timulator. I'm pretty confident that the answer here is going to be mutilators, because mutilators are vandals, right? And that is what the clue was asking us for. Stimulator provoked vandals. Great, we got our first down. Awesome. Awesome. 4. Let's go for shrinks showing balmy decrees. Okay, I was talking about terms that could possibly mean rearranging something. I was talking about, a word like confused might tell you that you've got an anagram. You need to rearrange a word. Balmy, which, is it British slang, balmy? I don't know, maybe, but it means mad, right? It means crazy. And words that mean crazy are also often with cryptic crosswords an indicator that you need to rearrange the letters. We're looking for a 7-letter word with this clue. And a 7-letter word in there is decrees. And that's next to the word balmy, which makes me think that maybe we're looking for a word that means shrinks. That is an anagram of decrees. I hope you can see how I've got to that logic. Is there a word that means shrinks that is an anagram of decrees? Other than decrease, which would mean shrink, have we got any letters here? Well, actually, we have got a letter. We've got the S at the end. So we know that we're looking for a word that ends with an S. Recedes. Recedes. That's an anagram. It ends with an S. And it means shrinks. Come on. Yes, baby. I'm pretty sure we've got it. That's recedes. All right. Look at this. This is soon filling up. It's a lot easier, isn't it, once you've actually got some of the letters already on the acrosses. This is why I do all of the acrosses. I give myself a nice easy time a little bit later on. It's like eating your vegetables first or something like that. All right, let's get on to our next clue, which is 5 down. Oh, okay, spooners. This is an interesting one. Have you ever heard of a spoonerism? A spoonerism is where you swap the first letters, usually of 2 consecutive words, and you come up with something funny. I'm trying to think of one off the top of my head, and the only one that leapt to mind is rude. It's a spoonerism of fuzzy duck. Don't do it if you don't like swear words. But imagine swapping around the first letters of those 2 words. So when in a clue you see the word spooners, it's usually telling you that there's a spoonerism in here, and that the words that come after it are describing the spoonerized term. So we're looking for something that means espy duck, like to spot a duck or something like that. But when you swap the first letters or the first sounds around, you get something that means in fog. Oh, it's not duck. Sorry. Oh, it's deck. Oh, I'm such a fool. Sorry. Espy deck. Okay, so spot. To spy is to see. See a deck. Deck is a floor or a pack of cards. P-sack? No. P-sack? Sorry, do you know why I said that? That would be C-pack, right? Because a pack of cards is a deck. But a P-sack... I can't believe I just said P-sack in one of my videos. I don't think the answer is P-sack, but we are... I think I'm getting close to it, because I think C... I think P is correct. Have you ever heard of a pea soup? A pea souper. It's a slang term for a foggy day. So if you spoonerize pea soup, you get sea poop. And is poop a kind of deck? Yes, it is. So I'm pretty sure that the answer here is pea soup. E. No, it's A, isn't it? Pea soup. It's not. You don't want a pea soup. Not with 2 E's. It's bad enough with the A. Anyway, actually, I'm quite partial to a pea soup. They're very popular here in Germany, and they've rather won me over with them. All right, we're on to the next clue anyway, which is goatee god devil eye. I'm not sure. It's chaos. Chaos again is another signifier that you might be dealing with an anagram, right? It's sort of if you chaotically approach the words before it, then you rearrange them and you get the answer. What are we looking at here? Goatee god, devil's eye, I'm not sure. It's chaos. 11 letters. I don't know how many letters devil eye, I'm not sure adds up to. Let's have a look. 5 for devil, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So devil's eye, I'm not sure. It's chaos. Okay. What's a goatee god? What's a goatee god? Like a fawn? Could it be a fawn? Or maybe. Pan. Okay, there's a word for chaos that begins with pan, isn't there? It's pandemonium. Now, that fits. Look at where that O and that M are. Pandemonium. I think the answer is going to be pandemonium. How do we get it from that clue? Oh, check this out. Okay, so goatee god is pan. Devil is demon, right? So if we write in pan, oh, come on, P-A-N, demon. And then where are we getting from for the end of pandemonium from there? I'm not sure. Okay, so to be unsure of something is to right? So the I is just from the word I that we've got there, and then I'm not sure is So that is how we get the ium at the end of pandemonium. That's a beaut. Like that one a lot. All right, on to the next clue. Quickly. 7. Like a piper or a clown. A piper or a clown? 4 letters. The only 4-letter word I associate with a piper is pied. You know the Pied Piper? Can a clown be pied? Yes. A clown can be pied, can't it? A clown can be custard pied, you know, where they like throw a pie in its face. Okay, again, I'm pretty confident that we've got the answer here. I think like a piper or a clown, the answer is pied. You can have the Pied Piper or a clown can be pied. All right, so we'll look at, we're really rifling through here. 8 down, she's dreadfully hurt. Okay, dreadfully is another word here that is probably telling us we've got an anagram on our hands. And in this clue, you've got one 4-letter word. And we're looking for a 4-letter answer, remember? And the one 4-letter word is hurt. Although actually she's is also 4 letters, isn't it? But I'm pretty confident, well, in fact, I know that we're rearranging the word hurt because the answer is Ruth. The she in this is a lady called Ruth. I'm pretty sure. I'm going to put it in. I'm confident enough. All right. On we go. I love this. 12. Is that going to fit on there? No, it's not there. There we go. Down at the bottom of that one. Due, both late for renewal. PDQ. Both late for renewal. Okay. Due, both late for renewal. Renewal could mean to rearrange something, couldn't it? You could renew it by, resorting it, rearranging the word. We're looking for 2, 3, 6 on this one. You see that? 2, 3, 6. So that's 11 letters. Both due, both late. How many does that add up to? That adds up to 11 letters. Okay. Due, both late, renewed, PDQ. Okay, PDQ. Right, we're going to get that one next time round. I'm pretty confident we'll have that one. 13. Cleric at formal event embracing pole. That's smashing. Now look, we've got loads of letters here. We did well on the acrosses on this one. So cleric. So we've got an A, an N, something A, something L. All right. I think down here, because we're talking about formal event in the clue. Can you see that? It says cleric at formal event. And you can see how ball fits at the bottom of there. Cleric at formal event embracing pole. That's smashing. Smashing. Is there a type of ball that's smashing? Well, you know, there's a wrecking ball or a cannonball. A cannonball. Does cannonball fit? Won't fit. Cannonball. Could the answer be cannonball there? A cannon is a type of cleric, right? Cleric at formal, a cannonball. But what's the embracing pole doing? That's smashing. Okay, I need something to justify why the answer to that is cannonball. Let's just wait and see if we can get 19 across, which is what we need to just sort of give us all the possible letters for that, and then we'll have a better idea if we're on the right lines with cannonball. Maybe not. I don't like to put something in unless I'm sure, you see. Okay, 14 down. It may resemble an elder, includes many. It may resemble an elder, includes many. Well, what's an elder? An elder is an old person, an older person, a parent. An elder is also, is it a tree? It may resemble an elder, includes many. Oh, we've got a load of letters here as well, I should say, because it's 6 and 4. May resemble an elder, includes many. All right, again, nothing's leapt out at me there, even though when we've got so many letters, it probably should, but I'm sure we'll get there. I'm just going to keep going for the easy picking. So we're going to move on to 18. Everyman on diet after time eating seconds, becoming most large. Now, do you remember the name of this crossword? It is the Everyman, and the word Everyman is in the clue. So Everyman is also, by the way, the name, the pseudonym, the pen name under which the setter of this crossword goes, Alan Connor, right? He calls himself, when he's writing this, Everyman. It says it's by Everyman. So that means when you see Everyman in a clue, you're often looking for I or me. That's what it represents, right? As if the clue, the crossword is speaking to you itself. So Everyman on diet. So that would be I or me on a word meaning diet, or next to a word meaning diet. Well, we're working on downs, aren't we? So it would be on, So I or me on diet after time eating seconds, becoming most large. Right. So here's the thing. When something is most something, a superlative like that, then usually the word ends with est, doesn't it? Like greatest, fattest, bravest, goriest, whatever. Is this one going to end with est? Well, we've got time eating seconds. So we've got, I'll tell you now that time is usually abbreviated to T, and seconds is usually abbreviated to S, right? So we've got S and T for the est at the end. So most large would be... Okay, so we've got a letter here, by the way, I should say. We've got a D. The third letter is D. So is there a word meaning most large or largest that begins with either an I or M-E and then a D? Okay. I haven't got this one yet, but I'm pretty sure we're on the right track. Let's keep going, right? We're rushing through. How long has this been going for now? This is not a short video, is it? But I hope you're enjoying it. Anyway, I hope it's flying by. It's flying by for me. All right, 19. As maestro will do to ensure behavior. Okay, I'm pretty sure that the answer here is going to be conduct, because what does a maestro do? They conduct. Also, the third letter is N, plus the clue ends with the word behavior. And what is behavior if not conduct? So without even paying too much attention to the rest of the clue, I'm going to carelessly, almost in a sort of punk crossword fashion, I'm just going to write in conduct. I bet you that's what it is. It's too much of a coincidence that we've got a word meaning behavior and we're talking about a maestro. Yeah, come on. It's going to be conduct. Next clue, please. 21. Making comeback. Damn celebrity. Oh, okay. So making comeback is telling you to turn a word around, reverse a word, reverse a word. And so I've already got this one. What's a word for a celebrity? It's a star, right? And what happens if we write the word star like that backwards? We get rats. And what can rats mean as well as, rodents? It can mean, as the clue indicates, damn. So making a comeback, the word star, meaning celebrity, gives us a word meaning damn. Although, now, I think I've made a mistake here in that I think I was supposed to reverse the word rats to get the word star instead. Because usually the straight clue is at the start or the end of a clue, right? And the word celebrity is what's at the end of this one, not the word damn. Making comeback damn, celebrity. I think the answer is star rather than rats, actually. So we got there anyway, despite going about it the wrong way, if you know what I mean. We saw the word celebrity and we're just like, oh yeah, it's going to be star. I'm in the way of it. Oh, there you go. It's gone in. Locked in. Okay. I reserve the right to later on reverse that to rats if nothing fits around it. Okay. And then let's get on to 22 down, the final clue that we haven't looked at so far. Then we're going to go back and we're going to sweep up all of the ones that we weren't sure about before and see if we can fill in the rest of this grid. Because look, it looks only about half done, but there were quite a lot of them, weren't there, where we said, I think we'll get that later. So All right, 22 down. Dopey grin that's been in proposal. Now, okay, dopey here. I see the word dopey and I think I need to rearrange something here. And I think the word is grin. And what does one see in a proposal when someone gets down on one knee? We see a ring. What's ring an anagram of? Grin. Yeah. So I'm pretty sure the answer here is grin. Let me just remind you of how I did that one. Dopey grin. So dopey is telling us to rearrange the word grin. And then it's telling us that the answer is something that is seen in proposal. And ring is both an anagram of grin and something that you see in a proposal. All right. Cool. We've done all the clues now. You can stop watching now if you like, but it's not very satisfying, is it, to do it at this stage? Let's keep going and fill in those gaps, and we'll start, at the top left corner and work our way through. Oh no, so we should focus on the acrosses, shouldn't we? Because we just did the downs, because now we've got a load of extra letters for our acrosses. So let's go with 3 across now. Hopefully it goes grey. Can you see how it goes grey when you've filled one in? So we'll be able to easily spot the ones we haven't got. It shows axes, part of plotters' designs. So have a look here. Now I would bet any money that this is paper, right? Because we're talking about designs. It shows axes, part of plotters' designs. It shows, what fits there? Crepe paper? Could it be crepe paper? It shows axes, part of plotters' designs. It's got to be paper, hasn't it? It's got to be paper. It shows axes, part of plotters' designs. I'm finding it really hard to see past crepe paper here. I'm going to just let this one stew over. Again, I bet you're shouting the answer at me. I bet you are. There's a lot of letters there. Oh, Rob, this is embarrassing. All right. Anyway, let's move on to the next across. It's 10 across. All right. What have we got here? Ultimately furious into craw sticks. One that's extremely inferior. All right. Okay. Let's have a look at what letters we've got here. We've got a lot of them. Something C, something A, something M, something E, something T. Could it be something that ends with, no, not meant, or maybe. Ultimately furious into craw sticks, one that's extremely inferior. So if something's extremely anything, it's a bit like we were saying something's most something. It ends with est. So I think we might be looking for another word that ends with est here. I mean, that would fit. Oh my goodness. I've just worked out what this one is. Oh, is my face going to be red? It's probably red right now. That's why I always keep a fan nearby. Anyone who knows the podcast, Words Unravel, that I do with Jessica Ferris will know why I keep my fan nearby. Because I blush a lot, don't I? Okay, I've made a spelling mistake here, haven't I? This fool has spelt pandemonium with an M instead of an N. I bet you've been screaming at me over that ever since I typed it in. Sorry. The reason I've worked out, the reason my attention was drawn to that is that I'm so confident that the answer to this is scrawniest. Why? Well, let's have a look at the clue. We've got the word craw there. Ultimately furious into craw sticks, one that's extremely inferior. So hold on, let's type in scrawniest and just have a look at what that word looks like. Scrawniest. So we've got the word craw in there, right? You see that? S, which was ultimately furious, as in the end of the word furious. So S, craw, sticks, one that sticks. Oh, sticks is maybe a nest, is it? Because we've got nest there. And if you stick one in nest, one being an I, because one and I basically look the same, don't they? So that's how you get to scrawniest. Yeah. Okay, I don't feel like I explained that one brilliantly, but the answer is scrawniest, and I can only apologise for the misspelling of pandemonium earlier. I mean, I explained that it was pan, so it's not as though I didn't know how that word was spelt. I just typed it wrong with my fat fingers, didn't I? All right, next, 11 across. Well, we got trembling mankind holy, welcoming earth's biblical promise. Okay, we made a note of this one, didn't we, up here? Mankind, holy E, biblical promise. But what we now have as well is a load of letters. We've got gap, gap, L, gap. That's not an L. Gap, L, gap. Then a space for a word, and then gap, gap, D. Then a space, and then a space, an O, a space. God, this must be fascinating to watch. Okay, all right. Okay, is there a biblical promise that is an anagram of mankind, holy E, that fits in there? There surely is. And something and... Yes, I've got it. Okay, I've worked it out. Sorry. This one took me longer than it should have done. So it's not necessarily like a biblical promise, but more the sort of the biblical promised land, I guess. The land of... If I could write it quickly enough. Milk and honey. There's your anagram of mankind, holy E. It's milk and bloomin' honey. That's our answer. Let's stick it in. And honey. By the way, I should say, don't worry if you aren't keeping up with all of this. It takes practice. These things take a lot of practice. That's half the fun of them. You know, it took me actually embarrassingly a few years to be able to solve these crosswords in their entirety. Don't worry, just have fun. Find some more practice. It's okay if you're not getting all of this first time. Kind of the point here is I'm just sort of flooding you with them just to give you an idea of the vibe of a cryptic crossword. Next, we've got 17 across. Let's see what the deal is with 17 across. Stuff what you can do to the www, you say, which is net, right? Stuff what... I mean, what do you do with the www? The net, you surf it, right? Could the answer be surfing? Stuff what you can do to the www, you say. What you can do to the www. I'm just saying it over and over. I'm somehow going to get inspiration. Although that is kind of how it works, to be fair. What you can do to the www. Surfing. I just think it's surfing, but you say it should sound like something else. Yeah. Okay. Sorry, we're gonna move on from this one again. I can tell you what, if you're still here, you are one of the elite, I would say. Well done on being here. We're going on to 19 across, and we have see something I already to help us out here. Now, do you remember what I said way back when? I said that the answer to this was going to be Chianti, right? Not half pretentious, opposed to Italian wine. I knew why it was anti at the end, but I didn't know where the CHI was coming from. It's half of a word meaning pretentious. I know that much. What's pretentious? But I just look, it's going to be CHI. We've got the C and the I. So I'm confidently going to write in Chianti here. And if you work out how chi is half of a word meaning pretentious, before I do, pop it in the comments. I'm gonna keep thinking about it. Chi. Words meaning pretentious. What's pretentious? Not childish. Could it be at the end? Chilly? Pretentious isn't chilly, is it? Chippy? No, that's not. Chinny. Whatever. I'm just going to take it as a win. The answer's Chianti. All right. By the looks of it, 23 across is our next port of call. Small drink adjacent to a finger. Okay. So I was under the impression this was going to begin with an S, but I don't think it does. Adjacent to a finger. Small drink. Is it like a tot or something, isn't it? Oh, gosh. I just realised I made another mistake here, didn't I? I wrote in grin when I should have written in ring. That's why that doesn't make sense. All right. Yeah, because I think I know what the answer to this one actually is. Because a small drink is sometimes called a thimbleful, which is something, a thimble is something you would have adjacent to your finger, isn't it? And thimbleful fits here. So I'm pretty sure we've got thimbleful. I can't believe I did 2 typos. I can only apologise to you, that grin thing, and do forgive me. I mean, this thing's quite hard, you know. I've got this thing here, right? I'll show you, with a load of buttons on it that I'm using to try and like switch between the different shots. I'm doing all of this live, you know. So, okay, I typed in the wrong letters a few times. I can only apologise, I really can. But look what progress we're making. We're on to 25 across. Here it is. What's the clue? Bad neighbour accounting cryptically for taste. A bad neighbour. And we've got quite a lot of letters here. We've got R something G. And then we've got a T towards the end. Cryptically for taste. I said that I thought the word cryptically probably meant there was an anagram in there. And I now realise that I'm right because I know what the answer to this one actually is. It is rogue state. Yeah, rogue state. Why is it rogue state? Well, I mean, a rogue state is definitely a bad neighbour, isn't it? I would say. Yeah, accounting cryptically for taste. Rogue state. Oh, right, yeah, and the word state is literally taste roguishly. I might not have got to that in the right way, but I'm pretty confident that I got there. All right, brilliant. We're going to go and clear up some downs. Presence of mind initially disturbed, making amends, and we've got a lot of letters here. I will say that recompense still fits. Presence of mind initially disturbed. I still can't work out why recompense fits into the idea of presence of mind. Making amends. Is there another word for making amends that's similar to recompense? I'm not so sure. Okay, I'm going to do another down and see if that helps. We'll go for 12 down. Okay, we said that this was going to be an anagram of due both late, and it was going to mean PDQ. And at the double fits both of those. It is an anagram that fits, and it means PDQ. All right, at the double. Next, 13 down. All right, let's have a look. Cleric at formal event embracing pole. That's smashing. Look, I said it was going to be cannonball, and I still think it's cannonball. I'm going to put it in because I just don't see how it can be anything else. That is smashing. I'm not entirely sure how we got there, though. If you do know how we got there, can you tell me in the comments, please? I would appreciate it greatly. 14 down, as my watch tells me that it's on the hour. Yeah. But that means we've been going for we've been going for a long time. But aren't you enjoying it? I'm enjoying it. 14 down. By the way, I do them faster than this in my head, I have to say. It's much slower when I'm fiddling around with all my equipment. 14. It may resemble an elder. Includes many. Okay, so I said it could be a parent or something, right? Or it could be a tree, because an elder is a tree. And I was right on both counts with that one, because the answer is family tree. Family tree. Have a look. It may resemble an elder. Yeah, a family tree does look like a tree in shape. Includes many. Includes many elders. Indeed, it does. Your family tree includes many elders. It also just includes many people, but I think it's saying it includes many elders. That's a nice one. Nice work, Alan. Very good. All right, how's the grid looking? Oh, man, we're really nearly there, aren't we? 18 down. Every man on diet. Let me show you it. Every man on diet after time eating seconds, becoming most large. Okay. So I'm still pretty confident we were ending with an EST there. Every man on diet after time. Most large. On diet. Oh, okay. All right. Okay. Do you know what's going on here? Let me get my notes up here. So we solved rats and we solved those. Let's delete them. Isn't that going to be satisfying? Oh, nice and clear. Okay, so the clue here is everyman on diet after time eating seconds becoming most large. So we are looking for something that means most large on this one. And everyman on diet after time eating seconds. So I already said everyman probably meant I or me. On diet. So we're going to write diet in there. The next part of the clue is after time. So we've got everyman on diet, I, diet, after time. And as I said before, T is the abbreviation of time. And it's saying it's after that. So that means we put what we had before after T. And then the clue also says eating seconds. So I already took seconds as meaning literally like numerical seconds, not going up for seconds as food. Because when you see the word seconds in a cryptic crossword, it's usually telling you want the letter S. Eating seconds. So if we take what we've already got, which is over here, and make it eat seconds, that means we put S in here somewhere. And to make it fit where we want, it fits there. And look, we've got a word. Got the word tidiest. So does tidiest mean most large? I'm not quite sure. Most large, tidiest. Oh, you know when it does? If you make a tidy profit, that means it's a large profit, right? So yeah, I'm satisfied that tidiest is what goes in there. Gosh, how many have we got left? We've only got 3 left. This is good. This is good. Okay, let's go back to across. The one that I was sure was crepe paper, but I still can't work out how. It shows... Oh my goodness, I've just got it. Again, you'll have been shouting at me here. I've been reading the word axes there, as in choppy things. It's not axes, is it? It's axes. The plural of axis. It shows axis, part of plotter's designs. What does a plotter draw on? So we've already worked out that paper is the end of there. This isn't crepe paper. It is graph paper. A graph paper. It shows axes, not axes. Oh, that's a relief. I thought I wasn't going to get that one. Because you know when you've got all of the possible help from the other letters and you still can't get it? It's graph paper. It just is. Brilliant. All right, 1 down now. Back to 1 down, which is over here. Presence of mind initially disturbed, making amends. Oh, okay. So the issue we've got here is still that recompense fits, but I can't work out why. What happens if we assume that that is correct and that here there should be an S? Right, I'm just putting that in. I don't imagine it's really there. I'm just putting that as a sort of thing. What happens then when we look at 17 across, which is down here? Stuff that you can do to the... Oh, okay, right, okay. Sorry, I went silent there because I had a brainwave. Stuff what you can do to the www, you say. I know what the answer is. Here. I was right to say surfing was part of the answer, but the answer is actually surf it, right? It's what you can do to the www. You can surf it, but surf it doesn't fit here, does it? Look, S-U-R-F. And then we've got an E there. What's going on? Well, if we do put surf it in there, we get the word surfeit, right? This other word with that E in it. And does that fit with our clue? Stuff what you can do to the www. Can stuff mean a surfeit? I think it can. I think that's our answer. I think it's stuff. So I just think that this has to be recompense. Pence. Oh. Yeah, no, it's okay. It's just me typing it wrong. Recompense. What do we reckon? Recompense? I don't know why it is that. Maybe it isn't. Let me know in the comments why that is recompense, or if it is not recompense. Tell me why. And if you don't know, make sure you check the comments underneath this video. I have really enjoyed doing this. We did it. We filled in the grid. And although I don't know if one of those is wrong, but I'm pretty sure we got it. Thank you so much for sticking this out. I really enjoyed myself. Thank you so much to Alan Connor. And also, I need to give a shout out to a guy called John Halpern, who I have recently done an interview with. He is genuinely one of the leading cryptic crossword setters in Britain. He's one of the few people who makes their living by setting cryptic crosswords. And he was kind enough to let me interview him about what he does and get some tips on how to do these crosswords. I'm going to make one of my fancy videos featuring that interview. I don't know when I'll have it ready for you, in the coming weeks, and you can hear more about John Halpern and cryptic crosswords. Hey, thank you so much for spending this time with me. This will be the longest video I ever make, I am sure of it. And I hope it hasn't been totally tedious. I assume not if you're still here. Watch this video next, and I'll see you in whatever you choose to take a look at next. Take care.